Hey everyone, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good whatever. This is Marilyn Shannon, and we are at the Breaking Free Show. Hope you're all doing great today, and I welcome you as always. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us each week. And we have an interesting show ahead. So before we get started, I want to say hi to Amnon.
Hello, Marilyn.
How are you?
I'm just fine. How was your weekend?
My weekend was very nice, thank you. It was had the pleasure of going out to a restaurant and having your daughter wait on us.
A- and how is the new place?
Oh, my new place. Oh my God. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Not to say that the my we so for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we sold our house and we moved closer into Raleigh because that's where my grandchildren are, my children, and I want to be near them as much as I can to be able to do drive-bys, drop-ins, pop-ins, all of those poppy kind of things. And so we sold our house. We moved into a townhome that we rented, and it's on a pond, and it's really nice, and I love it. But I have a problem because I believe that everything has an energy.
Mhm.
And I believe that my house that we just sold and closed on has an energy, and I feel that it's a living thing, and I kind of miss that. But anyway, we'll go into that some at another point because today's talk is going to be a little bit different than that, and I don't want to sidetrack. I like to keep on my subjects.
Fine, be like that.
I'm going to be like that. And so today, we do not have a guest specifically. Lots of weeks, most weeks we do, but today we don't. And I really want it to be a great conversation and between you, me, and Amnon. And I really would love for any of you out there that are listening to take the time, call in, share your comments, your questions, your thoughts, about the subject that I want to talk about, but also you are more than welcome to get me off the subject. If you have something else that you want to talk about, we love to do this every once in a while. I feel that we have an opportunity to be able to do that on the show, to give you a format, a forum to be able to express yourself and have the rest of us listen, which is sometimes unique. And I know a lot of you don't realize this is TV. This is not like NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, or any of that. No, it's not. And I'm not Oprah as much as I would like to be. But this is TV. And we have a picture. And we do make a difference. And you are more than welcome to call in and do something that you don't normally get a chance to do on traditional media. I mean, in radio, TV, you don't really get an opportunity to call in and express yourself. But here, we want you to. I want you to think of today like a fireside chat that we're sitting in each other's living room. Maybe we have a fire going, maybe we don't. But we're sitting together and we're sharing our thoughts. And there are some things to think about, and there are some things to explore. And you are welcome to call in anytime you like at 919-518-9773 anytime you want. You can come in on Skype, computers 2, that's the number 2K voice. You'll come in on a voice, not a picture. And then we have our chat. You can come in there. You can ask questions. You can do whatever you like there. It's live. You can just comment if you want, or you can just sit back and listen to me talk. And I'm not. And we might get into a little bit. I don't know. But please feel free. And if you're watching us on Facebook, please come into our chat as well. Come to NissanCommunications.com and you can come and be part of our chat as well. You can call in too. You can do whatever you want. And so today's conversation I want to have is about power and the use of power, the misuse of power, the abuse of power. What does power mean? And I'm curious because what I sometimes conceptualize something to be is just a piece of it. But I know that you all have things to add. And then when you do, my concepts expand. And I like to think that when we talk about things that you might not have thought about before, or in a way that you might not have thought about it before, that your concepts expand. There's an expanse. And that is what Breaking Free is all about. So, yeah, we love to have guests come on, love for them to share their tools, their strategies, their techniques, their whatevers that help us grow, help us expand, help us be unique, powerful, all of those things. But I also like to sit back with you in our little cozy way, in our cozy little part of the world, and just sit and chat. And that's what we want to do today. So, once again, 919-518-9773, or computers 2K voice, or our little open chat in here. You can partake, just put your name next to the video and come on in, right? All right. Power, power. What does power mean? So I've been exploring that concept since we hear all the stuff going on in the news about people doing things in sexually inappropriate behavior. And we've been dealing with not just that, but we also deal with people in a position of power that sometimes, not everybody, sometimes do something with their power that isn't fair, isn't right, isn't legal, can be criminal. And I'm curious about it. And I think it's something we should talk about. So I've got a PowerPoint, I've got some slides that I think are interesting that I want to bring up and, just kind of use as a little bit of, kind of spark some conversation. So the first one is those who have true power share it, while those who hunger power abuse it. So those who have true power know what to do with it, they share it. They don't have power over you. But those who truly hunger for power abuse it. They don't really have power. So all this stuff that's going on, people hurting people, people saying things against people, this whole, a lot of fear that's going on in our government and everywhere else under the sun is an abuse of power. It's not power. And this is why we started the Breaking Free show. Way back 5-6 years ago. How long is it? 6 years? About 6 years ago when we started the show. It was because of this misuse of power that that we looked at and thought, oh, this is power, but it's not. A misuse of power is not power. That is not what power is. Power is not something that is solely mine. I might have power, but it doesn't mean that you don't. If I've got power, you can have power too. Look, I got this place here, right? Amnon's been kind enough to help me have a place, a forum. So I have power, but it's not to misuse it. It is to use it, to share it, to offer it up, to explore it, to help people grow with it. And myself included. What were you going to say?
No, I agree. But historically, power always corrupted people. Because it takes a very special person to have power and to just know it, and that's it.
So I think the question is, what were we going to say?
A lot of people with power they want more power, or they want to flaunt it, or they're doing the wrong thing. It turns negative, even though it starts as a positive thing. It can turn negative.
Well, I think that's what you just said is very important. I think that's the key. I think a lot of people start off in a good place. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people start off in a good place, wanting to make a difference, blah, 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 blah. And then something happens. There is some kind of a shift. And I don't know what it is. I think it's not hard to be not ego and end up in an ego place. It's not hard to go from, caring and doing all these things to then finding yourself in a place of, domination. It's not hard. It is, if you're not vigilant and doing your work, it is not hard to unhealthily make a shift into the wrong place. And I don't know exactly what happens, and I don't know what we necessarily can do other than let's talk about it. I think that there's bigger than thou kind of attitude that happens. I don't know if people forget who they are, forget where they came from. I don't know if it's outside influences. I don't know. I posted a couple of times on Facebook and everywhere about doing this show. I don't have the answers. I've got some questions, but I don't have the answers. I just know that something's wrong, but I know that what's going on is also right, because if we don't explore these things, if we don't talk about them, if some of this stuff doesn't happen, then there are things that we don't find out about and we don't change. And it's important to talk about it. So, some of you might be sitting there and saying, what the heck is she talking about? Well, there's been a lot of things in the news about news people misusing their power, people in government misusing their power for sexual inappropriateness. I mean, this is happening all over. I'm sure it's not just men. I'm sure that there are plenty of women who are using their powers that be to dominate and control. And anytime we go to the extreme and we're controlling, it's not a good thing. And I am here and want to make a difference for those that have felt controlled or whatever, to say, no, let's empower each other. Let's share our powers, our supernatural powers, and support each other, so we're not just turning our power over and making the assumption that people can just control us and we have no voice. That is not true. That is not a good thing. So, again, please call in if you have anything to say, because I could, keep on going with this, and I really would love to hear what you all have to say. So the next one, which was sent to me by my friend Suzanne, and she said, I know you're working on this show for today, and here is a quote that I saw that I think you will like. And I really do love it. So here it is. You have it on the screen, Amnon? Okay. So you need power only when you want to do something harmful. Otherwise, love is enough to get everything done. Charlie Chaplin. So I'm debating about this. I'm not sure. It sounds good on the surface that we don't need power. All we need is love. But then I take a step back and I want to ask you all a question. Isn't love powerful? Isn't love something of power? And what's wrong with power? What's wrong? So this is saying that you don't need it. Well, it depends. Power is a fueling. It's an energizing. I mean, when I feel power, it's not over somebody. It's maybe something that helps me get up in the morning, but it's not over someone. So I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean,
come on.
Okay.
And don't play devil's advocate.
No.
Just be real, okay? Because he has a
I'm looking at this. You say, I don't know if I agree with this.
Okay.
I agree with this.
You do agree with it.
In a family settings, in a very close quarters, but you cannot say that in a big company with 500 people, love is enough, because love is enough when it comes from both sides. It's reciprocated.
Mm.
But if you are in a position where you're the CEO and you have 500 people working there that you need to lead, not all of them would love you, but you want all of them to follow you and to accomplish your goal.
Okay.
So use the power to make them do what you want.
And I don't think it's a love over power, or I don't think that's.
Well, no,
I don't think
say, it says love is enough.
I don't think it's one or the other, though. I think love is everything. I think to be powerful is a state of love. Being power is a state of love when it's not for abuse.
Okay, yeah, you can say
I mean,
that.
That's how it should
sense.
be.
Yeah.
Okay,
but when you say you need power only when you want to do something
No.
harmful, that's
No.
wrong.
Well, what do you
That's not
need?
true.
Okay. So, right, because when you want to do something, I think we've got this kind of wrong. You know, words have meaning, and
Right.
we give a choice of two words of how we want them to, what we want them
Hmm.
to mean. Or so, I don't think if we want to do something harmful, I don't think that power is what we only use. I mean, we can use a lot. I mean, what
No, it's power mixed with manipulation.
it's manipulation. That may not be power.
It's well, it is. It's. Remember, you don't get power. Nobody gets power.
Right. Actually,
Power is being given to you
actually,
by
that's
people.
or,
So
yeah,
if those people see you up there in the main office and you're the one sitting at the top of the pyramid,
Mhm.
you got power. You may be the weakest person in the world, but as far as those people down there, you have power, and they're going to do what you say.
So that's an
So
interesting. Okay, so that's an interesting thing because you don't. Do you take? Sometimes you have to take power, not just, not just some, not just receive it.
I would think that what you mean is accept
Accept
it.
power, not
Accept it. You
just
can go take it.
right. Right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes you just see, this is what's interesting because there's a difference in power from your heart and soul
Hmm.
as opposed to the power that you think from your head. There is a difference of ego driven power than heart centered power.
Hmm.
There's a
Okay.
difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And I'm not sure where the dividing line is or where the difference might be or how we describe or define it differently. But all the things that are, but not all, things that are going on now in our government and in the news and in corporations and also in anywhere, it is a, that stuff is ego driven. That is like, somebody saying you can't turn me down because I am so and so.
Right.
So I don't want to just spend time talking about the ugly side of power. I also want to talk about, you know, the good of power and why it's okay to have power. It's, you don't have to run away from it. I mean, you can embrace it when you use your power for good. Like, I got power here. I'm sitting here, I got a microphone, I got a camera, I got Amnon, I got Chris. I mean, people that help me do this. We all have power. We're all making I'd like to think we're all making a difference. But I'm doing this. This is powerful. I hope, I think, I feel this is powerful. And I want to use this power for good so that my power can spill over and you can feel power too. Because
Hmm.
I say, if I can do this, anybody can do this. And seriously, I really believe it. But I have the microphone, I have the camera, I have some kind of airwave that says, here, use it. And I will argue with anybody that says um, that not everybody can do something. Because if you want to, you can. So I'm not the only one. So we're going to talk about the good use of power too and how we do that. So can you give me the next one? Okay. So there is a phenomenal book that I highly, highly, highly recommend you read. And it's called Power versus Force. And it is by David Hawkins. And he is a very interesting chap. And I had the pleasure of meeting him or going to a workshop of his probably 15 years ago. So this is not a new book, and it is not a new concept. So, by a show of hands, How many of you have ever heard or read of this book? I'm going to take a minute so I can see your hands. Oh, a lot of you. So if you have, I would love you to call in and tell me what you remember, what you think, what you feel, all of these things. So he talks about power versus force and the difference between what it is. So power is not something you force on somebody. Okay? Force, you force it on somebody. Power is just something that you've developed, created, and it is. And it's a consciousness. It's an awareness. If you are using this thing called power in a powerful way, then it's a consciousness. It's an enlightenment. It's a, you know, let's be powerful together kind of thing. It is not where you are going to hurt somebody or where it's just an individual, self-centered thing. So I want to go over this list with you because I think it's fascinating. Okay, so let's talk about power. It's enlightenment. When you're in a powerful power state, you feel peace, joy, love, reason, you have clarity, you have acceptance, you have a willingness, it's neutrality. You feel good. You don't feel like you took something that belongs to somebody else. You don't feel an imbalance in yourself. You feel balance. You feel like you can dance within balance. Maybe today you're not balanced, but tomorrow you feel better, or the next day you feel kind of and then balance is something that we dance with. It is not something that you feel like all the time. It is something that changes. It's a dance. But being power is you understand that. It is okay and you're comfortable. Now, force, pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, and shame. These are things that are not power. These are things that become force. And the thing about pride, which is something that and once I read this book, has always triggered a special feeling. So when you think of feeling pride, your nose goes up, right? You get a certain, I'm better than. And that is, those experiences of feeling better than is not a characteristic of consciousness and power. It is not. Power feels like when you're in true good power, you feel like you just want to bring everybody in. You just want to share it. You want to love people. You want to, spread the wealth. Well, when you're in force, you don't feel that way. You are feeling, you turn things around and you obsess and you don't listen. Power is listening. And you know how I feel about listening. And if you don't, man, let me tell you, I love it. And anyway, that's another day. So I hope you understand this. And I want you to keep this in, understand. And I use pride anytime I forget what the rest of them are like. I use pride, which triggers me to my nose going up in the air and feel. And I'll tell you what, I've had a hard time sometimes replacing the word. Sometimes I've wanted to say to my children, I'm so proud of you. And yet I'm not so, I changed the word to, I'm honored by you. I am so pleased and so happy for you. Because pride just does not register well. And there is a lot of what he talks about in his book is about, how you calibrate when you use these words, these feelings, these characteristics, when you're in those places. So our body is like a receptor, like a radio station, and we're putting out information and we're receiving information. And when you're in pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, all of those kinds of force words, you're not calibrating very well. You're not vibrating your energy well. You're not raising your consciousness. But when you're feeling enlightened, you're feeling peace, joy, you are calibrating at a higher level and you're raising your consciousness. And it takes a lot to raise it. You got to, I mean, because to truly feel and be in these words without some force, some ego is not easy, because we get triggered into our ego very easily. It is not hard for me to find myself in my ego. It's not hard. I can be in joy, and then all of a sudden my ego gets a hold of it and it starts to do a number on it, like, oh, you're not that joyful, or why should you be so joyful? And and a lot of this is being constantly vigilant about our feelings and about how we are with these experiences, and how long we're there, and how much we stay there, and how much we use them. So I can feel peace, but it's like going like sand through an hourglass. It can disappear just as soon as you feel it, your head gets a hold of it, you're doing a number on it. So the longer you can practice being in peace, the longer you practice being in joy, each time you practice it more and more, you're calibrating more and more, you're able to stay there more and more. This calibration and these feelings spill over into these other states of reason, acceptance, power. So it can slip. And I think that's kind of what happens with people. It's kind of like, okay, so here's another thought. So I'm sharing things that are popping into me. And so if they pop in and you agree, great. Let's try them out. And I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I should never have said that. Oh, that was so, oh my God, it was so good too. And I hope it comes back. It was really good. And I've had this happen sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, gee, I should have said it when I could have said it. But anyway, it'll come back. But the more we practice these, the more we listen for them and we live there, the better we are. And I do believe that people who may start out in power or some power, like this consciousness power that we're talking about as opposed to force, they forget. They forget where they were. And they get into, maybe they're afraid they're going to lose their power. Maybe that's it. Maybe for some people that have a taste of being in the right place at the right time, getting, supposedly being, getting fame and fortune, and maybe the fear outweighs the joy, and they begin to feel like they're going to lose it. And then they'll do anything they can to hold on to it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some of you might know, or you can add to the discussion, or this one-way discussion. I feel like it's a one-woman show, but I would love to have you come on. So if you've got any thoughts about it, give me a call, 919-518-9773, or Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And you certainly are welcome to join me in the chat. Love to have you ask any questions that you want, or comment about anything that I'm, kind of exploring here. If you agree, if you don't agree, I can understand that. Love to have you share. So what are you thinking, Amnon? Have I gone overboard with you?
No, you do. No.
Okay. What are you thinking about what I'm saying? Anything?
I think what you're saying is right on the dot.
It's all right on the dot.
Right
well,
on.
So it's somewhat of stream of profound thoughtfulness, because I'm trying to figure this out too. Like, I ask myself questions like, why is this happening, or why is this person responding this way, or why is the president of the United States tweeting things? What do you got to prove? Why do you have to show your power in 140 characters? I mean, if you're powerful, you don't have to. Oh, you can do 280 now? Oh my God. Oh, okay. So that's how much I know. I mean, why do you have to do that? If you feel power, you do not have to tell anybody. Like I told you today that this is powerful. I'm grateful. And I think that's another thing. I'm grateful for the power I get to use, not because it's just for me. I'm grateful that I get to have the power to say something, to share something, to have great guests on. I mean, and I think that's part of it, maybe, that when we don't hold on to gratitude, we lose our power and it becomes force. Because when you're angry, you're not grateful. When your pride is getting the better of you, you're not you're not grateful, right? So anyway, okay, let's see the next one. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna. You're not gonna get away with that.
Oh, right.
Here you're talking about why does he have to tweet?
Why do you have to tweet that way?
Okay, wait.
Freedom of speech.
Wait,
okay,
wait,
go ahead.
No. It's got nothing to do with
Okay,
that.
allow me to shut up.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So now, you have a car.
I have a what?
A car, right?
Yeah.
Your husband has a car.
Right.
You're home together.
Right.
One car always screws up, and it's a jalopy.
Okay.
The other car is a fancy sports car. You want to go to the store. What do?
Take the keys.
Which car are you going to go in?
My car, or whatever car is available. It doesn't matter.
Your car is known to cause problems and knock off in the middle of the street and go the way it wants to.
Right.
You manage with it, But if you trying to go to the store now and
I have a choice,
you have a choice.
Okay, I have a choice. So I'll take the car that I know is going to work.
Exactly.
But then there's no guarantees it's going to work. But I'll try that car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
What? Explain it to me.
Why shouldn't he tweet everything he wants to say? He should. You know why?
Why?
Because we proved again and again that the other venue for us to know what's going on is broken.
Fine. I understand
so
that.
So he's taking that
That's
route.
Fine. That's fine.
And he's using that route.
But
that's why.
it's what he's saying.
That's why people like him, because he says it like it is. He says it like it is.
He says it like it is from him.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But the way he talks is not right.
But you're forgetting something.
What?
He was elected because of who he was. People like the fact that it was Donald Trump, and it's because he is brass, he is whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so it's fine. People
now,
like
can
that.
he do it better? Absolutely.
Okay, so it's fine that there are some people who still might like him, but from where
most people do. Most people do.
Oh my God, I'm not.
Most people do.
You can't say that.
I say
what
it
do you mean
because
most people? He did not win by most people.
He
lost.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Won. That's the point.
It doesn't matter, but it's not by most people.
And wait a second.
Oh, help me here. Come on, everybody.
Yeah,
oh, my
on,
God.
Help her. If there's
I'm
anybody
going
who
to pull
can
my
help
hair
her,
out of my
go
head.
for it.
Do you know, how is it possible that I can like this man and cannot stand what he says?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I can't, but I can coexist with him and I can still love him like a brother, but I can't believe you just said that.
I wish people could be more open-minded to, I won't call it argue, but disagree like we do.
Oh, we love it.
And still love each other.
Oh, I love you, but I don't understand how you can say that.
Because
what do you mean most? What's the word most mean?
Most people that care about what's going on. Let's put it this. Let me rephrase.
That is not true.
Most people care.
No. I care about what's going on. I just don't think he's doing it. Period.
Oh, he's doing it.
He's not saying it. What is he doing?
He is doing everything that he said he was going to do.
God almighty, am I turning gray? No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Oh my God. What has he done? Except cause havoc.
No havoc. I don't see any havoc. I think that he is. You see, that's the thing. When you become complacent, and we're getting into a different, we're regressing here. I was just going to bring why he's tweeting, and look, we're getting
Okay,
into
so
this.
I don't think you have to tweet. He can. Look,
he-
I think it's great to have platforms to share your voice, but I don't think.
But when you
his-
don't have it,
What do you mean when you don't have
the
it?
media doesn't cover the
Well,
good
forget the
things.
media.
Well,
Forget
that's
the-
what
It's
that's
okay.
what Twitter is.
No, but it's his voice that I argue with. I don't think he needs to share his feelings that way and what he wants to say. It's just awful.
Well,
It's awful. You don't
He-
have to do it that way to make your point.
obviously,
Look
there's
at
not
you and
many-
I. Okay,
yeah,
look at you
yeah.
and I. Okay? Perfect example. You and I can disagree. I would
Absolutely.
never get on here and say things out here about you. I have too much respect for you as a person.
No, but you can because if you
because I can
because-
doesn't mean I would.
But-
That's a misuse of power.
No, it's not.
Yes,
I
oh
think-
my God.
look, you
Oy.
just did.
Oy.
You just did say it.
What did
in a
I
way. You
say?
said, am I getting gray? Can somebody come
Yeah,
help
but
me
I'm
here?
doing
See,
it. Yeah, but
it's-
I'm not hurting you.
But you see, that's what I
No.
was gonna. No,
It's
that's
not
what
the
I was gonna
same.
say.
Yeah.
It's this. It's the same thing. But because you know me, and you know that I'm open-minded, and because you know that I respect you,
Right.
I am not gonna take it the wrong way. You don't have the power, right? At any time, you don't have the power to hurt me by saying
Of course not. I
what
don't.
I'm what or by knocking what I'm believing in.
No, but I
Anything
can.
that you
no.
can't. You
No,
can't.
but I wouldn't
You are going
anyway.
to say no, but it's okay if you do because I learn more about you.
I know.
And I'm open and I'm saying, maybe she's right about this. And maybe I'll learn something from you.
I know.
by
I
doing-
know.
you
You've learned
saying it.
look. We've
So,
learned
yeah,
a lot
Absolutely.
together in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we've both matured and we've both, have opened up and have come a long way in lots of ways.
I don't want you to gag yourself.
I would. No, I'm not.
If you
Do
want
you
to say
think-
something.
Do you think I'm
Well,
going to
see,
gag myself?
That's the thing.
No,
So if you
I'm
want
not.
to say something, I want you to say it.
Of
Don't
course
worry.
I would.
You will not hurt me.
Of course I won't. But I wouldn't. I don't have to hurt you to get my point out
Absolutely
or to
not.
express myself.
Sure.
But for some reason, our president, why would you have to do that as president of the United States?
I don't-
You have
but-
tons of power. Why or why not use it in a good way?
He can't. They
Why?
don't let it because they
Nobody
don't
is
let the-
standing over him when he's tweeting.
No.
He
of course.
has everybody listening. He doesn't need the media.
Mm.
He's got his position. He's got Twitter,
He has to get the word to the masses.
but he doesn't have to do it that way. He's
that's
not.
why I was saying, can he do it better? Yes.
He can do it
but
better.
that's him.
But he can do it better. You don't have to do it the way he's doing it unless that's where you come from. And to me, he's coming from a dark place and a negative
I don't
place.
know.
And okay.
I don't know. I mean,
Oh, come on, Amnon. You don't say it
all
that
I
way.
say is I don't know.
You wouldn't listen.
You don't know that he comes from a.
I can
you
look at I can
assume.
listen to the words, the choices of the words, the tone of them. They're not. I mean, they're not
Let's
making
go to
sense.
the next point. I'm just going to say
No,
that
okay, but this is part of it
we-
because
we
the
have
misuse
to
of
agree to
power.
disagree.
Of course, but the
That's all.
misuse of power.
I don't think
it's a
he
force. It's a bullying. It's not power.
I don't think
If
he's
he
misusing
if he really felt right, that he had a point and that he felt right, he wouldn't have to do it that way. Like you and I could have fun and we could like banter. But at the end of the day, we could agree to disagree, blah, 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 blah. You're not gonna I wouldn't do that with anybody.
Well,
And I don't understand why somebody who has the most powerful man in the world, supposedly, has to exert his power that way. That is force. That is a misuse, abuse of power. Period. It's what it is.
I like it better than apologizing to the world for everything we do.
That's fine. But because he's what's the word? Because he's a whatever that word is, I don't know. Because he's that. that could be good. You don't have to be, he could be a Lone Ranger, he could be Edison, he can be Bell and create something unbelievable where somebody would look and go, a what? A telephone? What the heck is a telephone? You mean to tell me that I can hold on to this thing and I can call people? I mean, come on. I mean, you don't, but to do it the way, in the manner in which it's being done is not right. But I do thank him for some of the things and the ways that things are coming out, because more and more people feel that they have no choice but to speak up and form an opinion of some sort. And I will tell you, I, for one, would never know what's going on in this world.
Right.
If it wasn't for what's going on, I never would know what's going on.
Only one thing I want to add.
What's that?
There are hundreds and thousands of, there are multiple thousands of people that are listening to you now, to us.
Right.
I want you guys to call in and participate. This is not just television.
No,
this is interactive.
Right. It's really,
you can call in.
Yeah.
You can log in and type.
And you can
if you're
disagree with
shy.
me. It's okay.
Yeah.
And you can disagree with Amnon. It's okay. That's what, that's what this is about. We don't have to agree. That's what's powerful about things. We can agree to disagree. We can agree. We can disagree in a good way. You can have your opinion. I can have mine. Or maybe you can have yours. I can have mine. I can learn from you. You can learn from me. Any of those things. I mean, come on. I'd love to hear from you. Okay. Can you show the next slide? Okay. True power and true happiness are when you use your success to make others around you feel even more significant. Now, what do you think about that? True power, true happiness are when you use your success to make others around you feel even more significant. That's what is so funny.
It takes me right back where we were.
I know that. That's why this is not planned. But this is not planned, because I could not plan all of this. What?
Here is a president who is very, very successful in his life. Is anybody letting him make it better for us?
That's the point, Nan. We don't have to. It's not about letting. He can just be it.
No, he cannot.
Yes, he can.
No.
Yes, any people can. It's not about somebody. You said it's not about somebody giving you the power. If you feel powerful, all that has to happen is that you feel it, and the universe is giving it to you. That's it. And if you've got the power, if you got a power, use it for good. Use it to help people feel more significant, not to feel like crap. And that's how it feels. I mean, there's no point. Nobody has to give him power. He already won, right? He's got the power. Nobody has to give it to him. He's already got it. He doesn't have to prove what. Use it for good. Make a difference in this world. I mean, who are you making a difference for? I don't understand. I mean, he's got it. You have power.
Right.
Okay, I have power. You can turn that button on anytime you want.
Right.
Or turn it off at any time you want.
So
right?
if you don't stop, I'm going to shut.
You can you can do that, but here's the thing. If this show and if this is meant to be, there'll be another way.
You see, it's amazing, and I know I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, you can get into it.
No, I mean here you're talking about he's already got it.
Yeah, he does.
What happened Friday with that new piece of news that brought the
Flynn?
stock?
You mean?
Yeah. What happened?
I don't know. What happened?
They were saying that Flynn is going to
right.
Tell the world that Trump asked him to get in touch with the Russians.
Right.
That was a bomb.
It sure was.
But you know what?
What?
It's exactly what was supposed to happen.
Okay.
He was supposed to tell him that.
Okay.
What did they find later on and why they took that guy out? He told him to get in touch with the Russians.
You're talking Trump told him?
Trump told him, and Trump never said he didn't.
Okay.
On December 15th, where he was already president. What did he need the Russians for at that point?
I don't know. We'll see.
He
won't we?
needed to work things out.
Well, that's
to work
not,
about.
okay. Well, then here's the thing.
Yeah.
Then that's what then
But you see,
That's
we're talking
what
about
Trump should be. If Trump has got good things to say,
no,
then he should be
no,
saying it,
well,
not camouflaging
but
it
that's but the
in
point here is,
negativity.
but the point again is he said it in tweets. You never heard about it because the media never talked about it.
Then just say
and
it
then
in
the
tweets.
media came. You
Just say
see?
it in tweets.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It does
Anyway,
matter.
The way that it happened. But I'm just showing you how
So
people
if you
can
hear-
look at one
okay,
side
in
and
the
say,
right.
well, he doesn't
I-
need it. He's already has it. Well, on the other side, no. Well, the other side is
It
the same
doesn't
thing.
see. That's the point, Amnon. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you. It's an individual thing. If I feel powerful because I've done my work and I'm giving whatever it is, if I feel powerful, I don't have to go by. You know, I don't have to be on a puppet on a string. I can stand up and speak because I feel powerful. I feel that I've got something good. That's what power should be, could be, is. I don't have to jump from one end to the other and bounce around like a rubber ball. I just speak what I speak, speak the truth, my truth. Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking. That's
All
what I
right.
think about this.
Okay, well, I know.
You know,
Well, I
you
know.
were asking.
Yeah, well, I know. It's like it's up here. Okay, next, and we thinking alike on some things. Go figure. All right, give it. Okay, power doesn't corrupt people. People corrupt power. What do you think?
I think there's a lot missing in between. them.
Absolutely.
Power does
good.
corrupt people. Because when people feel the power and they are not really powerful, but they get power from somewhere, they start abusing it.
So they abuse it.
So they're abusing.
Right,
So,
so-
it's
so
there's
they are-
just
so,
something
yeah.
missing
So
in between.
right. So it's again, we give words, actions, feelings, things. We give them meaning, and that's why we're here. We want to give power a good meaning. We don't want to corrupt power. We want to say it's okay to have power. Go get power. I mean, I'd love the world to be full of power, conscious, loving, caring, compassionate, empathetic power. Power to do good. Go get all the power. Let me give you power. Let me help you get power. I don't know. I mean, let me do anything I can for you to feel powerful, and conscious, enlightened. I would love to live in a world where more and more people are feeling it. I love it. I love when I'm in a room and I can hear, feel, see power. I love it. I love being in a great conversation. And I'll tell you something. Amnon is not powerful. Amnon's powerful. He's using this new media, his cameras, his microphones. He's using this all for power. Even though we might have a disagreement about certain things, it doesn't make him less powerful than me or me less powerful. It's how you use it. And you can use it. Trump and anybody can use their power for good and make a difference. You don't have to misuse it. I mean, you just don't have to. How could he use it differently?
Nobody.
Don't spend time talking about the negative. Talk about the positive. Really talk about the positive and do it. It's a distraction. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Whoever thought, is there a next? Okay. The day the power of love overrules the love of power, the world will know peace. I'm not smiling. Okay, I'm not. Got it? Okay, so the day the
that's
power of love overrules the love of power, the world will know peace. So is that the difference? Is that the difference?
It's I mean it's a different. This is nice as a saying, but it's not something that can actually. I mean, yeah, it's wishful
Why?
It's wishful thinking.
No, what is
I know
wishful
it's
thinking
wishful
about
thinking because
But-
the power of love will never overrules the
it?
love of power.
I
Pe-
don't
There's
know.
always going to be people who want power in order to abuse it.
Maybe.
Those people will always
Maybe.
be somewhere around the top.
Maybe, but
Well,
it doesn't
Oh,
mean.
no. Maybe it'll
Yeah.
be the other way around. I agree.
I think that
But-
there's more and more days where there's more and more power of love, power from love, than there is love of power.
You can look at it that way, and you can live.
That's how
You
well,
can live.
That's how
in
we
a
make
world,
that's how we
Yeah,
make the changes.
right. That you live in a world like
Yeah.
this, and you, for lack of better, it's looking at the world with rosy
Glasses.
glasses, which is fine. But in reality, once you have to really, I mean, you can think about all that you want. Somebody was saying, what did Trump do good? You ask me.
Yeah.
And somebody was telling me, anytime somebody says that, just tell them one thing. Tell them to look at their 401k and see what happens to it.
Okay.
Everybody was saying the stock market is going to go away. It's more than doubled because of him.
What did he
So-
do to make that happen?
Just because it's him. You see, that's the thing.
oh my God.
You see?
Well, that's because
But wait,
of
wait.
corporations that have that are getting ready to have this
But
tax
it
thing.
doesn't matter why.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't matter why.
We'll
at this
see if
point.
it helps you any.
It doesn't matter
Okay,
why. Well,
so-
it did
so-
already,
okay.
but wait a second. So when you are looking, those people will always be up there at positions
Yes,
where
yes,
they can
right.
when they can do it. Because to be an abuser of power, sitting in your living room, you're only going to hurt your close family.
Right.
These people have, what is it, dreams of grandeur? What is it?
Grandeur, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, they know how to find their way into affecting a lot of people because that gives them more power, or they think they have more power.
Right.
And that's the problem. I mean, Jim Jones, was he a powerful man? No. But he found people who were weaker than him.
Right.
And
right.
he took them there, and
Right.
whatever he told them,
Exactly.
they did.
Right.
And there's always people like that in the world who
Right.
will
Well,
give those people. So, and unfortunately,
Maybe-
I mean, if Trump was really a bad person, if he was, and I'm doubt that he is, I can say he is not. He can ruin the world by standing up there and do what he's doing if he was doing it out of abuse of power. So we-
okay,
but we
okay,
don't
but
know yet.
okay. Here's a point.
Yeah.
Yes, he could, but maybe, and I have lots of hope for this planet.
Yeah.
That the more there is the power from love,
Mhm.
the less we will have the love of power, and
Oh,
the less
absolutely.
somebody
I-
can in a position of power can ruin the world.
I agree that
Because because when you listen now, let's say that somebody who is in a position of power who is abusing it is at one end, like really abusing it, is at one end of the spectrum.
Mhm.
And then other people start to see something, right? They start to become more from a place of love than of a place of loving power.
Mhm.
And so I think the world, even though it looks caca,
It
is
doesn't.
really getting better and better. And it's because people are, people are seeing things they don't like.
people are seeing things they don't like,
Basically,
and it takes us back
it does.
to the media. The media is not
Well, the
allowing the people to see how things really are. They have their own agenda. So they're telling the people negative, 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 negative. So people are saying
I don't
negative.
need anybody to tell me
no,
that
no.
a tweet is negative.
Because you are not, I'm not talking about the tweets now. I'm talking about the main networks where people sit at 6 o'clock and watch the news and they see negative, 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 because that's what the media, and it was proven time and again that they have their own agenda. Then
let's see what
things
happens.
are beginning to see.
Okay, so let's see
I
what
think
happens.
in this
'cause-
case,
yeah.
your scenario will work perfectly is when people will start saying, oh, really? It's not like that.
Well, we'll see.
People can say, yeah, it's like this, and go.
Well, I'm not.
So who knows? We
There's a
don't
lot
know.
of
We
things
don't
that,
know.
if you look back historically,
Yeah.
you're not going to see just the problem with the media. You're going to see other things,
Oh,
and that are
absolutely.
repercussions, and with things that are happening today. So, you know
We'll
what,
just have
everyone,
to wait and see. You're right.
But I don't. I mean, okay, we have we have work to do, but I do think things are getting better, and people are, reading more, and listening to shows like this, and podcasting on their own, and doing all kinds of things, and saying things. And I highly recommend, go blog, go comment, go do anything you can do if to raise the level of the consciousness and the power.
And do it constructively.
And do it constructive. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so that's another thing. Okay, so now let's look at this next one. Simple kindness to oneself and all that lives is the most powerful transformational force of all. David Hawkins. He's really phenomenal. You should go, if you want to read something really interesting and go, go get his book. So, simple kindness to oneself and all that lives is the most powerful transformational force of all. And then the next one, because we're almost going to, okay. I love this one. Forget good and evil. Let's use our powers for awesome instead. I mean, you know the difference. Everybody knows the difference. Forget just thinking about it's good, it's not good, this, that, the other. Just be awesome. Just be great. Just be loving. Do the right things. That's all. What else can you ask of anybody? Just do the right things. And that in itself will be powerful and will make a difference. And we'll be, going into states of peace rather than of just abuse. What do you think? Okay, so you still got time. 919-518-9773. Please give me a holler, or Skype, Computers 2K Voice. Anytime. I'd love to hear from you. Please follow me on Instagram at Marilyn Listens, Twitter at Marilyn Listens, LinkedIn, Marilyn Shannon, Facebook, Marilyn Shannon, and, follow me. Follow the Breaking Free Show. Tell me what you think. Give me your opinion. If you have an idea for a show, I'd love to hear from you. Can you show my book? Is it up? My book, In Just One Afternoon, Listening into the Hearts of Men. Interviewed tons of men about their life stories, how they feel about things, how they are processing life. It was wonderful to listen to these men and to sit with them and hear their stories and hear how men are changing their worlds. And so it's great. My next one will be out hopefully in February. In Just One Afternoon, Listening to the Hearts of Twins, all on Amazon. Get an ebook, get the paperback. Let me know what you think. And I really appreciate you all being here today. My voice is probably gone because it is different when I'm doing this with me and Amnon as opposed to having a guest, because but we got things to say. And breaking free to me is all about our individual freedoms. It's all about the opportunities we have to return ourselves back to ourselves and to stand up and voice our opinion and share our thoughts and, love one another and really make a difference. And I really believe it's very possible, and it's what's happening today. So please tune in each and every week. Thank you so very much for being here. If I can be of any service at all, Marilyn at MarilynShannon.com. And I love you all. Thank you so much. Amnon, thank you for a good show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Bye, everyone.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.